Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, grab your coffee, sit down at your desk. Maybe it's your kitchen table, maybe it's a cubicle, doesn't matter. And you realize the landscape has changed. The familiar path you walked to get things done, it's gone. Your go-to methods, the little tricks of the trade you mastered over years, suddenly they feel slow, inefficient, almost obsolete. And all around you, things are moving faster. Tasks you thought took hours are finishing in minutes. Decisions are being made with data you didn't even know existed, and entirely new kinds of work are popping up that didn't even have names just a short while ago. This isn't the plot of a far future sci-fi movie. This is happening right now. This is the AI revolution, and it is already rewriting the rules of your professional life. It's a force so powerful. It's not just automating tasks. It's challenging the very definition of expertise, collaboration, and value in the workplace. Are you feeling that tremor under your feet? That ripple of change moving through your industry, your team, maybe even your own job description? Good. Because ignoring it isn't an option. This is the biggest transformation of our working lives, and we need to understand it, lean into it, and figure out how to surf this massive wave instead of being pulled under by it. So, buckle up. Let's dive deep into the AI revolution and explore exactly how it's changing the way we work, the skills we need, and the economy itself. More importantly, we'll talk about what you can do, starting today, to navigate this brave new world and not just survive, but truly thrive. Human history isn't just a timeline of kings and wars. It's also a story of work transformed by technology. Think back. The steam engine. Before that, work was muscle and simple tools. The steam engine roared into existence, powering factories, enabling mass production, pulling trains across continents. It sparked the Industrial Revolution, moving millions from farms to cities, changing family structures, and creating entirely new classes of jobs and wealth. It was massive. Then came electricity. It didn't just light up our homes, it electrified productivity. Factories could run 24/7. New industries sprang up around appliances, power grids, communication technologies. It amplified our ability to do things in ways we couldn't have imagined. And who could forget the computer? That clunky box that started by crunching numbers for governments and corporations. It evolved into the personal computer, then the internet, birthing the digital age. It took complex calculations, communication, and information access, and made them instantaneous, global, and eventually personal. It amplified our ability to process information. Each of these was a game changer, a true revolution. But honestly, none of them quite compare to the seismic shift AI is unleashing right now. Here's why. The steam engine, electricity, the computer, they primarily amplified our physical abilities, or our ability to process structured information faster. AI is different. AI is diving into the realm of thought itself. Think about it. It's not just about machines lifting heavier loads, though collaborative robots, or cobots, are doing that alongside us. It's about machines that can read, analyze, learn, create, and even assist in decision-making. It's about machines thinking, with us, and in some cases, thinking for us. Let's make this concrete. Picture a lawyer drowning in a discovery process. Boxes and boxes of documents that would take a team of associates weeks, maybe months, to sift through. The sheer volume is paralyzing. Now, AI comes in. It can pre-analyze 90% of that paperwork, in hours, identifying key terms, flagging relevant information, finding patterns that a human might miss in the sheer exhaustion of the task. Suddenly, that lawyer and their team aren't spending their time on the soul-crushing grunt work. They're focusing on the high-level strategy, the legal arguments, the human-centric aspects of the case. they are amplifying their cognitive abilities. Or, imagine a doctor, swamped with administrative tasks, routine screenings, updating complex patient records. Less time for the actual human being sitting in front of them, explaining their symptoms, their fears. AI assistants are stepping in to handle routine screenings like analyzing scans for common anomalies, managing the administrative load, even suggesting possible diagnoses based on vast databases of medical knowledge. This doesn't replace the doctor. It frees them up. It allows them to spend more time on complex cases that require their unique expertise and, crucially, more time connecting with their patients, building trust, providing comfort. Medicine becomes more human, not less, when AI handles the predictable, repetitive tasks. Even in education, AI-driven platforms can analyze a student's learning patterns, identify areas where they struggle, and tailor lesson plans or provide extra resources automatically. A teacher isn't replaced. They are empowered to spend less time grading or creating generic materials and more time providing personalized support, mentoring, and inspiring their students. These aren't isolated examples. They are glimpses into a future rapidly arriving. According to giants like McKinsey, AI isn't just changing individual jobs, it's poised to add a staggering $13 trillion to the global economy by 2030. That's boosting the world's GDP by over 1% every single year. That's not just pocket change. That's a tidal wave of potential wealth creation, a surge in productivity that could lift billions. But here's the critical point, the one that brings a necessary dose of reality. With great power and wealth, creation comes significant disruption. The World Economic Forum, looking just ahead to 2025, made a striking prediction. AI and automation will create 97 million new jobs, which sounds fantastic. But they also predict it will displace 85 million jobs. Do the math. That's a net gain of 12 million jobs globally in just 2 years. That sounds positive on the surface, but buried within that number is a massive reshuffling. The 85 million jobs being displaced aren't necessarily the same jobs as the 97 million being created. This isn't a one-for-one swap. It's a fundamental shift in what kinds of jobs exist and what skills are needed to do them. So, what does this mean for you specifically? For your career path? For how you earn a living and build a future? That's the question we need to unpack. Let's look at the 3 biggest ways AI is transforming the future of work, and crucially, how you can navigate this turbulent, exciting, and sometimes scary, brave new world. Okay, the first massive wave crashing over the world of work is the automation revolution. When most people hear automation, their minds go to robots. They picture futuristic assembly lines with robotic arms welding cars, or massive warehouses where automated systems zip around, stocking shelves and packing boxes. And yes, that's absolutely part of it. Collaborative robots, or cobots, are already working alongside humans in factories, handling repetitive tasks, lifting heavy objects safely, or performing precision work that's difficult for a human to maintain over long periods. In retail, self-checkouts and automated inventory systems are becoming commonplace. In healthcare, robots assist in surgery, and AI scans medical images, X-rays, MRIs, CT scans, with incredible precision, often catching subtle details even the most seasoned radiologist might miss, especially when sifting through high volumes. But here's the part that's truly revolutionary and perhaps a little unnerving for some. AI isn't just coming for traditionally blue-collar jobs anymore. The automation wave is pushing far beyond the factory floor and the warehouse. It's knocking on the doors of professions we once considered immune, tasks we thought only a human could do. It's reaching into the corner offices, the creative, studios, the service industries. Let's revisit the paralegal example, but dig a little deeper into the human experience. Imagine Sarah, a paralegal who spent years refining her ability to review legal documents. It was painstaking, detailed work. Hours, days, weeks spent poring over contracts, correspondence, depositions, searching for that one crucial piece of evidence, that key clause. It was essential, but often monotonous, requiring incredible focus and discipline. It was a bottleneck in the legal process. Now, Sarah's firm implements an AI review tool. Suddenly, that task that used to take her and a team of colleagues weeks is handled by the AI in minutes. The AI doesn't just scan, it understands context, flags anomalies, identifies relationships between documents, and presents the results in an easily digestible format. It flags only the 10% of documents that require Sarah's unique legal judgment, her understanding of the case's nuances, her ability to identify strategic implications. Sarah isn't out of a job. Her job has been transformed. She's now able to tackle 3 times as many cases because the tedious work is gone. Her role elevates. She spends her time on the higher-level tasks, crafting arguments, strategizing with the lawyers, negotiating settlements, things that require creativity, complex judgment, and human interaction that AI, at least for now, simply cannot replicate. Consider the doctor again. Think about Dr. Chen, a family physician. He became a doctor to help people, to heal, to connect. But the reality of modern medicine often means mountains of paperwork, navigating complex insurance forms, managing electronic health records, ordering standard tests. He spends a significant portion of his day on tasks that don't directly involve patient care. With AI assistance integrated into his practice, routine prescription refills can be handled by the AI, follow-up reminders sent automatically, initial screenings for common conditions processed, and patient records managed with greater efficiency and fewer errors. Dr. Chen isn't replaced by a machine. He's liberated. He can now spend an extra 15 minutes with a patient who needs to discuss a difficult diagnosis, delve deeper into the root cause of a chronic issue, or simply offer reassurance and support. His job becomes more about being a doctor, more about the human connection, because AI is handling the predictable, administrative burden. This shift is profound. It's not just about doing the same job faster. It's about fundamentally redefining what the job entails. Imagine you work in customer service. You spend your day answering the same 10 questions about billing, shipping, or login issues over and over. It's repetitive and, frankly, soul-crushing. Now, an AI chatbot handles 80–90% of those routine inquiries instantly, 24/7. Your job? It's no longer answering FAQs. You're now handling the complex escalations, the customers with unique and difficult problems, the situations that require empathy, creative problem-solving, and the ability to build a real connection and de-escalate frustration. Your role shifts from information dispenser to relationship manager and complex problem solver. But here's the crucial caveat, the part that introduces the significant challenge. Not every job is this elastic. Not every role can be stretched and redefined to focus solely on the high-level, uniquely human tasks. Some roles consist primarily of those tasks that AI now excels at. Basic data entry, simple accounting tasks like reconciliation or invoice, processing, routine administrative scheduling. These are examples of roles where the core function is a predictable, repeatable process based on clear rules. As AI becomes more sophisticated, these roles are at risk of being automated entirely, or at least significantly reduced. This is the risk pointed out by economists like Eric Brynjolfsson. The potential for a class of people who are unemployed and not valued much because the specific valuable skills they spent years developing are suddenly in low demand, or worse, no demand. And often, the immense wealth created by AI's productivity boom, the $13 trillion we talked about, tends to concentrate at the top, with the tech companies creating the AI, and with the highly skilled workers who know how to use and build. AI systems, or whose roles are elevated by AI. It doesn't automatically flow to those whose jobs are displaced. So, understanding this first wave of automation is critical. It highlights the urgent need to look at your own role, your industry, and ask, what parts of my job are predictable and repeatable? What parts require uniquely human judgment, creativity, and empathy? This leads us directly to the second massive transformation AI is bringing: the skills revolution. How do you stay ahead when the ground beneath you is shifting so rapidly? Okay, that brings us to the second, equally important layer of the AI revolution: the skills revolution. This isn't just about jobs disappearing. It's fundamentally about what skills are valuable in this new economy, and how that landscape is shifting faster than you can even update your profile on LinkedIn. Think about it. Just 5 or 10 years ago, the idea of a prompt designer as a job title would have sounded absurd, like something out of a bad sci-fi novel. Today, companies are actively hiring people for this role. Why? Because AI models like the one you're interacting with right now don't magically read your mind. They require precise, well-crafted instructions, prompts, to deliver the most relevant, creative, or accurate results. Crafting those instructions effectively is a skill, a new form of communication, and it's in demand. And that's just one example. Roles like data scientists, who can analyze the flood of data AI produces and needs, AI ethicists, who grapple with the complex societal implications of biased AI or autonomous systems, and machine learning engineers, who build and maintain the AI models themselves, are exploding in demand. According to LinkedIn, job postings mentioning AI-related skills grew a staggering 74% annually for several years, and that pace is only picking up steam. These are high-value roles, often commanding six-figure salaries, representing a whole new frontier of work. But here's the truly mind-bending kicker, the part that turns the traditional job market logic on its head. The skills that were once considered high value because they were difficult for humans to do quickly and accurately are precisely the skills AI is rapidly mastering. Tasks like classification, categorizing information, prediction, forecasting trends based on data, and routine decision-making based on predefined rules. These were core components of many professional jobs. A 2020 study by the National Bureau of Economic Research confirmed it. AI excels at these kinds of tasks within specific domains and often outperforms humans in speed and consistency. So, if AI is taking over the predictable, the routine, the analytical tasks that follow, clear patterns, what's left for us? What are the skills that become not just valuable, but truly indispensable in an AI-augmented world? The answer lies in the uniquely human stuff, the abilities that rely on consciousness, emotion, intuition, and a holistic understanding of the world that current AI simply doesn't possess. And these skills are suddenly worth their weight in gold. Let's break them down. Kafi, synthesis, judgment, and contextual decision-making. AI can process vast amounts of information, identify patterns, and even make recommendations based on data. But can it synthesize conflicting information, understand the nuanced context of a complex human situation, apply ethical considerations, and make a judgment call that weighs competing values? Not really. AI lacks true understanding and consciousness. If you are a manager facing a difficult personnel issue, AI might provide performance data, but it can't understand the history between employees, the unspoken team dynamics, or the ethical implications of different solutions. You need to synthesize the data, apply empathy and understanding, exercise judgment, and make a decision that resonates with your company's values and the specific human beings involved. Your ability to take a flood of information, filter out the noise, apply ethics, understand human context, and make wise, real-world decisions, that's irreplaceable. Relationships, empathy, and collaboration. AI can mimic conversation, but it cannot feel empathy. It can process words, but it cannot truly understand the emotional state of another human being, build trust, persuade through genuine connection, or navigate complex social dynamics. Think about a talented salesperson. It's not just about knowing the product. It's about reading the client's body language, understanding their unspoken needs, building rapport, and creating a relationship of trust. AI can't replicate that spark, or consider a therapist guiding someone through grief. That requires profound empathy and connection. Even in routine teamwork, the ability to collaborate effectively, resolve conflict, motivate others, and build a positive team culture relies on emotional intelligence and interpersonal skills. These deeply human interactions, AI can assist, but it can't lead them. Creativity with direction and refinement. Yes, AI can generate art, write poetry, compose music, and draft articles. This is perhaps one of the most visible and sometimes alarming capabilities for creative professionals. However, this often requires a human to provide the initial vision, the direction, the specific parameters, and crucially, the refinement. AI can generate 1,000,000 images, but it takes a human artist to curate, select, combine, and refine them into a cohesive, meaningful piece. AI can draft an article, but a human writer brings their unique voice, perspective, and understanding of the audience to shape it into something truly compelling. It's less about creating from scratch and more about collaborating with AI to amplify your creative vision. Imagine telling an AI, design a logo that's bold and energetic, uses shades of deep blue and vibrant orange, incorporates a sense of forward movement, and feels optimistic. Then taking its outputs and refining the best one with your design. Expertise. That ability to guide AI to infuse it with your unique creative intent and to polish its output? That's an exploding skill set. This skills revolution is also fundamentally changing education. The traditional 4-year degree, with its often eye-watering price tag and broad curriculum, is facing increasing scrutiny. While still valuable, it's losing ground to faster, more focused alternatives like 6-month boot camps that teach practical, in-demand skills like coding, data analysis, or mastering specific AI tools. The focus is shifting rapidly from "what theoretical knowledge do you possess" to "what can you do with that knowledge, particularly with the help of modern tools?" Platforms like Coursera, edX, and Udacity offer specialized nano degrees or professional certificates in AI and machine learning, often developed with the very tech giants like Google, IBM, or Meta who are hiring. These credentials are proving incredibly effective at landing people well-paying jobs, sometimes faster and at a lower cost than a traditional degree. The question for each of us becomes deeply personal. What kind of skills are you cultivating? Are you solely focused on technical skills that AI might soon automate? Are you leaning hard into developing your uniquely human superpowers like empathy, judgment, and creativity? Or are you finding a balance, learning how to wield AI tools to amplify those human abilities? This is where conscious choice and continuous learning become non-negotiable parts of a modern career. Drop a comment below. I'm genuinely curious to hear how you're thinking about this. What skills are you focusing on developing right now, in the face of AI? Let's share ideas and learn from each other. Now let's zoom out and look at the third, perhaps most far-reaching change AI is bringing: the fundamental transformation of the global economy. We've talked about AI boosting productivity, and this is where that really hits home on a macro scale. AI is supercharging efficiency in ways that make past tech revolutions look like preliminary warm-ups. Tasks that once took days or weeks of human effort are now completed in hours or even minutes. A project that required a large team working for 3 weeks might now take a smaller team, augmented by AI, just 2 days. Complex overnight analytics that needed specialized data teams can be handled automatically by AI platforms. The value creation here is immense. We're talking about potential savings of $150 billion annually in healthcare by 2026 through things like optimized diagnostics, personalized treatment plans, and administrative automation. We're looking at personalized learning reaching over 100 million students globally, tailoring education to individual needs, and potentially unlocking human potential on an unprecedented scale. Hyper-customized services in finance, entertainment, retail, and countless other sectors are becoming not just possible but commonplace. It's like the global economy has been injected with steroids, pumping out massive gains in speed, efficiency, and potential wealth. But as always with such massive power shifts, there's a significant flip side. This explosive productivity boom is throwing labor markets into a kind of chaotic blender. Why? Because AI makes it easier and cheaper to do things that were previously expensive or required specialized human skills. The lines between traditional industries are blurring at an astonishing rate. Tech companies are no longer just building software. They are becoming major players in healthcare delivery, financial services, and transportation. Car manufacturers are transforming into AI firms focused on autonomous driving. Retail giants are leveraging their customer data and AI capabilities to dip into banking and advertising. When every company has access to powerful democratizing AI tools, they can suddenly invade each other's traditional turf, leading to unprecedented levels of competition and disruption across sectors. And consider the democratization of services. Services once reserved for the ultra-wealthy, personalized financial planning based on complex market analysis, tailored healthcare diagnostics, bespoke educational plans, are becoming increasingly accessible to wider populations because AI can deliver them at scale and lower cost. This is fantastic for society in many ways, opening up opportunities. But for the professionals who previously provided those high-value services manually, it's disruptive. So, who is most impacted in this economic blender? Generally, the jobs most vulnerable are those relying on physical labor in predictable environments, like truck driving, which could be replaced by autonomous vehicles, and jobs involving routine cognitive tasks, like bookkeeping, basic programming, or data entry, as we discussed. Even creative fields, while needing human direction, are being impacted as AI can generate first drafts, concepts, or large volumes of content. The World Economic Forum's estimate that 375 million workers, a staggering 14% of the global workforce, may need to switch occupations entirely by 2030 underscores the scale of this challenge. That is a massive reskilling and upskilling challenge for individuals, companies, and governments. It requires robust social safety nets, innovative education programs, and a cultural shift towards lifelong learning. But here's the opportunity side of this economic transformation. This disruption isn't just destroying old pathways, it's clearing the ground for entirely new ones. The companies that effectively integrate AI aren't just becoming more productive, they're creating new markets, new products, and new services. And those require human intelligence, creativity, and connection to build, manage, and deliver. The challenge is navigating the transition. The opportunity is being part of building what comes next. So, after looking at the automation, skills, and economic revolutions, where does this leave you? Feeling overwhelmed? A little scared? Excited? Maybe all of the above? That's completely understandable. This is change on a scale we haven't seen before. But here's a crucial lesson history teaches us. Every major technological revolution, the printing press, the steam engine, electricity, the computer, ultimately created more new opportunities than it destroyed old ones. AI is no different in this fundamental potential, even if the speed and nature of the change feel more intense this time because it impacts our cognitive work. The most successful, exciting, and secure careers of the next decade won't belong to those who try to compete against AI, treating it as a rival. They will belong to those who learn to see AI as a powerful partner, a tool to amplify their own uniquely human capabilities. Think of it not as a battle, but as a dance. AI handles the complex, rapid, repetitive steps, while you bring the flair, the creativity, the strategic vision, the empathy, the uniquely human rhythm that the dance floor needs. Let me tell you about Sarah, a graphic designer I know, not the same Sarah from the paralegal example, though her story is similar. She used to spend hours on the painstaking initial stages of design, sketching concepts, creating variations, tweaking layouts pixel by pixel. It was necessary, but often time-consuming grunt work. Now she uses AI tools like Midjourney or DALL-E to generate dozens of visual concepts or variations in seconds. She doesn't just accept what the AI gives her. She uses her artistic eye, her understanding of branding and client needs, her years of design intuition to select the best starting points, then refines them with her own skills. She's not replaced by AI. She's empowered. She can explore more creative directions, deliver initial concepts faster, and spend her time on the high-value artistic refinement and client consultation, where her human expertise is irreplaceable. She's not just surviving, she's thriving, taking on more clients, exploring new styles, and pushing her creative boundaries further than before. Or consider Mark, who runs a small artisanal food business. He used to spend late nights doing inventory, tracking sales, drafting standard customer emails, and trying to figure out basic market trends. It took him away from what he loved, creating amazing food and connecting with his customers. He started using AI-powered tools for automated inventory tracking, generating personalized email templates for different customer segments, and getting simple reports on sales patterns. Did AI replace his business? No. It freed him up. He now spends that time developing new recipes, building stronger relationships with suppliers, engaging with customers at local markets, and focusing on the strategy for growing his business. He's not a tech genius. He's a small business owner who leveraged AI as a tool to automate the operational drag and amplify his entrepreneurial strengths. These aren't extraordinary people. They are regular professionals who looked at the AI wave, didn't panic, and figured out how to use it to their advantage. How can you start dancing with AI? Start small and experiment. Don't feel like you need to become an AI expert overnight. Explore readily available tools. Use ChatGPT to help draft emails, brainstorm ideas, or summarize information. Use AI features in tools you already use, like Canva for design or Grammarly for writing. Find one small, repetitive task you do every day or week, and see if an AI tool can help you do it faster or better. Get comfortable with the technology. Become a learner. The most crucial skill in the age of AI is the ability to learn and adapt continuously. Take online courses. Many are affordable or even free. Look for courses on prompt engineering, data fundamentals, or how to use specific AI tools relevant to your industry. But also, double down on those uniquely human skills: critical thinking, emotional intelligence, complex problem-solving, communication, creativity. Practice applying judgment and ethics to different scenarios. Engage in activities that build empathy, grads. Focus on what complements AI. Instead of worrying about what AI can do, think about what AI can't do, or what you can do better when partnered with AI. If you're in a role heavy on routine tasks, identify skills in related areas that require more human judgment or interaction. A data entry clerk might transition to data analysis, where interpreting the data and explaining its implications is key. A basic coder might move into more complex system architecture or human-AI interface design. Embrace the mindset shift. See AI as an amplifier, not a replacement. Your value isn't just in performing tasks, but in applying your unique human intelligence, experience, and values to guide powerful tools. Your expertise becomes about knowing what to ask AI, interpreting its output, and applying it effectively and ethically in the real world. This isn't about being the strongest or the smartest in terms of raw processing power. As Darwin famously said, "It is not the strongest species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most adaptable to change." Adaptability is your superpower in the age of AI. The AI revolution isn't coming. It is undeniably here. It's not a distant future event. It's unfolding in our workplaces, our homes, and our lives right now. The question isn't if your job will change, but how you will respond to that change and seize the incredible opportunities it presents. Will you hold on to the past, risking being left behind? Or will you ride this wave, blending the immense power of AI with your unique human strengths, your creativity, your empathy, your judgment, your ability to connect? The future of work belongs to the collaborators, the continuous learners, the problem solvers who see possibility in disruption. It belongs to those who are willing to step into the unknown, experiment, and redefine their own potential. What's your first step? Is it exploring a new AI tool for 5 minutes today? Signing up for a free online course? Having a conversation with a colleague about how AI might impact your team? Or maybe it's simply taking a moment to reflect on the uniquely human skills you already possess and how you can strengthen them. Perhaps you're already using AI in cool or unexpected ways in your work. Share your story in the comments below. Let's build a community here, one where we can share insights, challenges, and successes as we navigate this revolution together. Learning from each other is one of the most powerful ways to adapt and thrive. If this conversation sparked some ideas, got you thinking, or gave you a sense of possibility rather than just fear, please hit that like button. And if you want more real talk, practical insights, and actionable advice on navigating the AI revolution, no hype, no fear-mongering, just honest exploration to help you shine, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. This isn't just a tech trend. It's a chance to reinvent ourselves and our work lives. It's a challenge, yes, but it's also an invitation. An invitation to learn, to adapt, to collaborate, and to remember the unique value that being human brings to the table.